This video is sponsored by Refinitiv, a London Stock Exchange Group business, powering financial markets around the world.
Vladimir Putin has shoved the post-pandemic world into a dangerous new era. By launching an all-out invasion of Ukraine, the Russian president has posed a new challenge to a global system weakened by 2 years of battling COVID-19. The biggest attack on a European state since World War II has potentially seismic consequences for Western economies and global markets in energy, finance, and technology. The first casualty of the Russian missiles that landed on Ukrainian cities in the early hours of Thursday morning was the idea that sanctions can deter armed conflict. US President Joe Biden has for weeks warned of the penalties the West would impose on Russian banks, companies, oligarchs, and even Putin himself following an invasion. Yet the Russian leader went ahead anyway, triggering a 30% drop in Russia's main stock market indices. The leaders of the group of 7 rich countries will now respond with punitive financial measures on top of the ones they've already imposed. Yet their ability to inflict damage is limited by Western dependence on imported Russian energy. Brent crude oil prices rose to an 8-year high of $105 a barrel after the invasion, imposing further costs on companies and consumers grappling with rising living expenses. Western leaders are also poorly positioned to demand further sacrifices of their populations. Biden leads a divided country and faces congressional elections later this year. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson, meanwhile, is under police investigation over lockdown-busting parties at home. And French President Emmanuel Macron will seek re-election in April. The Russian invasion will also increase frictions in global markets, already fractured by the pandemic. American restrictions on technology exports will impel others to make themselves less dependent on Western hardware and software. European nations will seek alternative and more dependable sources of energy. Banks and asset managers will have to navigate an ever more complex thicket of rules and restrictions. It's a century since the world suffered a deadly outbreak of influenza after a devastating world war. This time, conflict has broken out after a global pandemic. Putin has made sure the new era will be even more precarious than it already was.